The United States needs to be very careful about the automobile companies to which the taxpayers have lent billions and billions of dollars. That what I think is going on, I think the car companies are splitting up their assets. They're saying they're selling them off. They're saying they're the unprofitable assets, and they're citing things such as Hummer and other car companies, and they're selling them off to other businesses. What's going to happen is they'll sell off all of these businesses, and what we'll be left with is a shell company that really has very little left, and we'll be looking for this little shell company to repay these huge, enormous sums of taxpayer money, and they won't be able to. They'll go under, and the businessmen who run these car companies will go off and either just be happy with the money they got when they sold the car companies, or be involved in future work on those companies that they sold off, what I would regard in a fraudulent manner. This would be similar to paying for a house and then having the person say, oh, I'm just going to take a few things out of the house that really don't mean much, and you say, okay, and then you come back and find they've taken, the refrigerator, the stove, the washer dryer, they pulled up some floors, they took the banister, they took some of the walls down, they took all the plumbing out, the wiring, and some of the doors are missing, and they say, okay, here's your property, this is what you bought. So I think that the government has to look at some of these transactions that have gone on. They may have to void some of them to keep the company together. I believe any transaction that sells off any part of these companies should be valued at enough to pay back most, if not all, of the taxpayer money, and that should be personal to the person selling it off. That should be a risk taken by the head of the corporation, and it should not be borne by the taxpayers. We, the taxpayers, gave our money to a business that held not only the original cars, but also all of the extra cars, the Hummers and whatever else they're trying to sell off to Italy, I assume the mafia, and some other things. And I think the Americans are being scammed, and I think the government has not picked up on the scam yet, and by the time they do, it might be too late.